This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
I'll shake it.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust out, y'all.
Sway in the morning, Shade 4-5. Dreamer, that's how the B right there. In case you didn't know, man, 888-742-3345. You want to talk to Heather B about her music, her classic music. And it's interesting because one of our guests today is a very reputable producer that's been putting it down. I mean, it's done excellent work for years. We mentioned earlier that he, at one point, was signed to DJ Premier, working with his label, his production crew. He's done a lot of work for one of my favorite artists, Obi Trice.
Oh, yeah.
Real name, no gimmicks. He's worked with Ghostface. He's worked with Skyzoo. He's worked with a slew. AZ, did you work with AZ?
Yeah, AZ.
Yeah, or AZ. He's worked with a slew of folks and he's done music that I've always appreciated and liked. Interesting enough, he's done music I didn't know that he did. You know what I mean? And then you find out that he did it, and it's like, damn, that makes a lot of sense. Welcome, MoSS, to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, Evan.
Man, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm really excited to be on this show. I listen to it every day. So.
Damn, thank you, man. You're an official citizen, bro.
Yeah, I was hoping for that. I was hoping for that.
Let's give it to you quick, baby. You know why? Because Heather B was like, MoSS, I think he did a song for me, if I'm not mistaken, and we just played the song Dreamer.
You know what's so crazy, Sway? Of course, a lot of people know my third full-length album, titled Open Bar, is executive produced by DJ Premier, and it's a project that he and I started working on. And that introduced me to the new way of music being done. Like, when I started this project, this was when I realized you didn't have to be in the studio with people. I come from the era where producers are in the studio with the artists are together in the studio, and Preem was like, yo, okay, while I'm on tour, I want you to listen to some of these producers and these tracks that I have and go through them. And this track came on. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? Who did this? And all I saw was like MoSS. I'm like, MoSS. What kind of name is this for a producer? Who would name itself MoSS? Isn't that like a germ or a disease?
No, actually,
it's a fun guy that grows on the trees.
You know what's funny how I got that name? You remember Massimo Clothing?
Oh, yeah, Massimo. Yeah,
what happened was
okay.
before they became big, they had a hat and it said MoSS and then M-O, small. And I had the hat, but no one knew what the clothing line was. And so people assumed it was a custom-made hat, and they just started calling me MoSS. So I was like,
damn.
Well, it was better than sitting at home and trying to come up with a name. I figured if people were just going to call me that, I'll just run with it. So.
I like MoSS because, it grows everywhere.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And under the right conditions,
That's strange.
I mean, you can make some meaning to it. Man, so what was the first time who was the first artist you ever produced?
Oh, man. I mean, in terms of someone people would know?
Just in general, because I want to know, what did you use? What was the equipment you used?
I started probably my first 12-inch, might have been around, it's been a long, it was on Conception Records, by a guy named Eclipse. And then from there, I think I started working with Obi. I did Well Known Asshole, Mr. Trice, which got Eminem's attention, which eventually got him signed to Shady Records.
Yeah.
And I did end up doing 8 Mile on the special edition of that, and
Nice.
and then kind of rolled out from there. I did work with Black Moon, Bud and AZ, Slum Village.
What did you do on 8 Mile?
8 Mile. No, it was on Obi's album Cheers. It was like a
Cheers,
special edition. Yeah, I did a joint called 8 Mile.
Oh, okay.
He tried to get on the soundtrack, but I think there was issues with sample clearance or something at the time. I don't know.
What's been your most memorable studio experience thus far?
Honestly, probably the first time Premier just let me do whatever I wanted in his lab. I got to hear music that never came out, and I was like a kid in a candy store. I was just, it was crazy. I heard Nas songs I never heard before, and that was awesome. Just the fact that he allowed me to watch him make beats, and we just had a good bond. It was different. It was weird when I met Premier because I've worked with people and I've been fortunate to get to meet people and work with them in the studio, but it was different with him. It didn't feel like I was working with somebody in the industry. It just felt like a guy I knew from when I was a kid, and we just hit it off like that. Most of the time we talk, we don't talk about music.
Wow. Did y'all thumb through porn magazines and stuff like that?
What?
He actually gave me some free porn tapes. Yeah,
he did.
Good
That's
bonding.
how he greets you,
Right.
Yeah, my man. You got a chance to work with Sean Price.
Yeah, he actually, he looked out for me early on. I did a joint on Black Moon's album called Looking Down the Barrel, and he was on that. And then I did 1-2 for him and Oops Upside Your Head. And I remember the first time I met him, I walked into the studio. I had long hair back then, and without even hesitating, he just looked at me. He's like, "Damn, you look like one of the Bee Gees."
That's what he said?
Yeah. And that summarizes who he was.
Yeah.
You know, rest in peace to Sean Price. I'm very proud to have him on my record also. But yeah, I'm very fortunate to have worked with him. He's one of my favorites. Yeah.
John Connor is somebody that we knew before the world knew, you know, dope artists all together. Now a lot of folks know him, but how long have you known John Connor?
Actually, the John Connor situation came up through a guy named V Stiles out in Detroit. He knew John, and I was working on a song for him with Guilty Simpson and John Connor. Then, you know, I knew Willie, and Big Gov hollered at me, and I was like, let me do something and put this all song together and make a song. And they were all on board, and it was crazy getting him on the record. Especially, I wasn't aware at the time actually about the Compton situation, and then, you know, obviously for me, I was like, wow, that's good. But I was a fan of his from the jump, regardless. So.
Yeah, we used to have him on. We had him on a Wake Up Show a few times, and he just took off.
Yeah, he's dope.
He's real dope. You strike me as the type of person that just likes to get the work in. And it's not about the accolades or the money.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of quiet and reserved. Some of my friends call me a hermit. You know, I just like to sample, and I'm really into records. You know, I travel around the world, and I've been to like Zambia, and I license stuff in Iran and Indonesia. It's just. But I like to stay at home and make music. I'm actually going to meet another guy today. I did an album with. I've never met him before. It's coming out in February. Kool G Rap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to drop that one, man. I had to. Sorry, man.
I'm sorry.
My manager told me I had to drop that one. But
yeah, man.
we're actually going to go over the final records today and finalize it and start mixing. But man, I'm really excited about that one.
So you were in the studio with Kool G Rap?
No, that's another example. We just did it through. I'm in Toronto. He's out here, and we just kind of worked. And it's the first time I'm going to meet him today. But I know he's really feeling the record. I'm really happy with it. It's a straight hard street hip hop record.
It's a crazy day for you, man.
Like, this is the first time I'm meeting you today. All of this time.
Yeah, I know, it's weird for me.
It's just so weird.
Well,
that
I mean, I'm in
music
Canada,
is
right?
made
So
now.
yeah, if I was, I'm in Toronto. If I was in New York, it might be different. But it's just. You know, you guys are all out here, and it's just a matter of crossing paths, right? I first worked with Joell Ortiz early on before I did Hard to Be Humble, which was before he did, you know, and then I did 125 bars, or 125 part 1, and I didn't get to meet him until he came to Toronto to perform with Slaughterhouse.
Wow.
So, you know, it's kind of just how things go.
Different world, yeah.
MoSS is here. He has the album, the debut album, Marching to the Sound of My Own Drum. And I kind of wanted to talk to you so people could hear your perspective on things, and it kind of explains the title of your album in a sense. You seem like you just march to the sound of your own drum.
Yeah. You know, it's weird. When I listen to my music, I think it's... I mean, obviously, I'm trying to put music out that I enjoy, but people come up to me all the time and they're like, "Well, it's a little bit different." And I've had. I'm not going to put names out there, but I've had significant artists be like, "Don't sell that beat, I want it." And then a week later, say, "We tried, we just couldn't figure out a right to it, but I love the beat." And then someone else rhymes over it, and they're like, "Shit, I really like that beat." So, I kind of had that vibe, and I've always been a bit weird in that sense. And you know, before my hair was kind of crazy, and you know, I decided on this album, you know, like some of the songs, like there's a song with Rex that halfway through the song is a 1.5-minute flute solo, you know, something like you'd hear on a Jethro Tull album. And so what I was trying to do on this album was I decided I'm going to put out an album and I hope it does well, but if it fails, that's better to me than putting out something that's just going to kind of get lost in the mix. I kind of want to do something, for better or for worse, it's going to leave a mark, even if it's a worse mark.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? Because you have to do that. And even the CDs, like I did all the assembly, I did the shrink wrapping, and then inside CDs, it's like some of the CDs I threw in a bonus like Zambian rock record, because I license a lot of music. I work with a lot of Zambian artists. I threw in some Indonesian music. It's not on every one. I didn't even advertise it. Just people are just going to get bonuses like a Cracker Jack box.
That's dope.
I figured it's fun, something to do. I got, just people keep telling me I'm different, so I was like, you know what? I might as well be different. Let's just do something and see what happens. And
real creator.
I try. We'll see what happens. We'll find out next week.
I can tell by his whole mannerism, he probably getting mad pussy too.
I was wondering about that.
This shit,
yeah, you don't seem like you use your title as a producer to get
just
the
give
beats.
them that weird thing. They love that.
I don't introduce myself as MoSS to most people. I mean, if it's someone in the industry, I will, because they'll probably just think they'll look at me like, all right, no, we ain't, get away from me. I'm not taking a picture with you. But no, I mean, that's what they look at me, because I can look in the mirror. When I look in the mirror, I don't look like someone who's producing hip hop and I'm not ashamed of that. I am what I am, and that's what I represent. So, when I approach people, eventually it comes up, but I just tell them I work with music and I license music and see what happens.
There it is.
I like MoSS.
The album is Marching to the Sound of My Own Drum. It's available now, right?
No, 13th.
What's the date?
Today's
we
okay,
don't speed up time, player.
I'm glad you're excited about it, though. It's good you're
Next
excited.
Friday, Sway, a week from today.
Yo.
I
was excited. I was like, I'm about to say, get it now. Get it now.
You can go pre-order it now.
You can pre-order,
right.
yeah.
Okay, we're going to play this song called Nobody Move. It's featuring Onyx and Havoc. And this is MoSS. You want to talk with them, 888-742-3345. Cypher up next. Listen to the beat, kid. Can you rock to this? Huh?
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.